or not? And the question, the answer to that question is yes. He is coming back. He is going to be in a Patriot uniform this fall. I actually confirmed that this week. Matter of fact, Alex, because that was a I don't want to say it was a mystery, but it was just a big question because AJ kept hanging around. And we're like, well, is he staying or is he going? And I said, well, let's find out. And I text a very reliable source, and they said yes, he is coming back. So.
You texted your deep throat source telling you what the inside scoop on AJ Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga. Yeah,
Gonzaga.
we just wanted to know whether he was staying or not. So, um, again, I got confirmation that he is staying and he's going to be in a Patriot uniform, and that's going to be a big plus to what Mission Veterans is trying to do. And then these days with this very unorthodox zoning, Mission Veterans is going to have to take on Sherryland Pioneer, and so it's going to be different with this whole zoning deal. I'm not sure if you kept up with that as much, but I was just now getting a grasp on it. I had seen it, but just getting a grasp on it, it's a little strange, I'll tell you, to say the least.
It does get strange with this zoning, but it does give a challenge for Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, my
There you
bad.
go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Gonzaga, as that means he's going to face some very challenging secondaries, and that just gives him more of an opportunity to be able to play against good teams and increase his recruitment. He mentioned that he's being looked at by some very, very top teams in the country, and I tell you what, I do wish him the best of luck. From what we've seen in the 3 games he played in 7-on-7 and the 6 touchdowns that he had, I'd say he'd be the best receiver in this game.
Yeah, no doubt. He's definitely the best wide receiver in the Valley. We have Ryan Trinidad who's here. He's playing on Team GOAT. He's from Brownsville, Hannah. He's another stud that can really go up and get it. And then, Justin Galvan's another kid who you're going to want to keep an eye on when it comes to the wide receiver position.
Play action pass by the Bears helps them get enough for a first down on a big play on the outside. Ball will place near the 22-yard line. As the Bears are hoping to be able to score some points off of the turnover on downs by the Hidalgo Pirates. 10 minutes left in this game as Hidalgo is right now down by 6, needing a turnover so that way they can get the ball back in hopes of scoring again.
That's another plus, too, with this running clock. You got to love it.
It does build up the suspense. I really do appreciate it. Wheel route pass, just a hair off his shoulders and almost slipped the wide receiver, but fortunately he is fine. That's going to be second down for the PSJA Bears.
So being able to see football in all cluttered up in a couple of days, we were able to watch some real football. On Thursday, we had Three Rivers and Runge. Mark and I made the trip up there to Three Rivers, and just to see football, to see pads, to see contact, whistles, that was a beautiful thing. It was a really breath of fresh air, and Joe and his crew went up and covered that tri-scrimmage with London, Odom, and Refugio, the defending state champion at the Class 2A level.
And, dude, what about that pass? That was a good pass. In tight coverage, fighting for the extra yardage, getting the first down at the 10-yard line.
And that's what Coach Rodriguez wants to see. I'm sure he's pleased with what he's seen in his offense. They're going to throw the football. That's no secret there with what these Bears are trying to do. It's just a matter of putting these pieces in play and finding some replacements for the guys that they lost. Marco Guajardo was a tremendous wide receiver last year for PSJA. That was their go-to guy, and now they're going to need some of these younger pups to step in.
Pass just off the mark and incomplete. Would have been a great touchdown catch if he was able to haul it in.
Well, it was a well-thrown ball, right? Only where his receiver can catch it, just a step, maybe a little bit too far to his left. But back to the football deal, it was good. It was a good sign to see some football, and Three Rivers has a pretty good squad up there, and of course, anytime you throw in the mix when someone gets to cover and watch Refugio play, that game had ridiculous views. When Joe got off the air, they were hovering right around 18,000, and then as far as I checked this morning, it was up to 26,000 views. So,
it just shows that how much people miss football. And I tell you what, you had yourself a big audience too. You had 3,000 views in your game.
We had a couple. Yeah, we had a couple thousands for that 2A game, and I never heard of Runge before. No disrespect, but I was like, where are these guys from? And Coach Davis was a good guy, and he said, we're about 45 minutes north of here, over by Kennedy. So I was like, okay, I gotcha. What surprised me. They had 16 kids on
Only
their
16
roster.
kids.
16 kids on the roster. 13 of them were dressed.
Oh,
So
man.
you talk about challenges and trying to get these kids ready to go, and they had one scrimmage was this week, and a week from now. Shout out to Keaton Castella. He's here to watch his boy Kyler. I'm not sure where Kyler's at, but he's around here somewhere. But 16 kids, 13 of them there on that roster, and they have one scrimmage, and then they have to get ready for Flatonia to start the regular season.
Tell you what, once the regular season starts, it's going to be a fascinating year. 3rd down and goal for the Bears, and losing some possession, losing yardage, and they are this close. And looks like they're going to call it actually turnover on downs, as that was 3rd down the previous play, the sack. And it looks to be, yes, they are going to call it 3rd down for the PSJA Bears. So now they're going to be switching sides. The Pirates offense coming into the field, less than 7 minutes in the game. Bears are in hopes of getting, Bears are going to hope and try and commit a turnover, so that way they can stop the Pirates from scoring and and tying up this game.
So the San Benito Greyhounds are going to be here. I don't remember seeing them on the slate, Alex. I'm not sure what side they're playing on, but nonetheless, they're here.
Tell you what, it'll be fascinating. Pass caught down the sideline, and it'll be 1st and goal from around the 8-yard line.
Eric Solis showing off the wheels down the sideline on the far side of the field. Hey, the good news is that the sun is not directly in front of us anymore. It's right above us.
Exactly. Although that makes it harder for the players now whenever they're going for those deep passes, hoping
Right.
the sun doesn't get in their eyes. But I tell you what, that does help us a lot. Now we don't have to worry that much about the heat. And right now with the ball, less than 6 minutes left in this game, PSJ Memorial is going to take a little bit of their sweet time to try and get this ball into the end zone, as they want to get this tie, and then eventually score on the outside route. Pass almost intercepted. It was tipped by the secondary of the PSJ Bears to make it 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line.
The Hidalgo Pirates are an interesting team heading into this 2020 season, because last year was kind of the year, or rather was the breakout year for Old Stum and the Pirates. They made the playoffs. They did lose in the 1st round, but nonetheless, they really made a statement in that district, picking up wins at Rio Hondo and then at Port Isabel, of course, Coach Stumball's old stomping grounds. And those wins were just as sweet. And I know when I was talking with Rio Hondo is that, boy, when the Pirates came into play, they came into play and they looked like vintage Port Isabel football teams. And we didn't want no part of Hidalgo just because of the physicality that they brought, their strong running style, and what Coach Stumball implements there with his program. And so that it's definitely a team to watch. They're a team trending on the upside, and they showed it last year by making a statement in that district and then eventually making the playoffs. So the Pirates definitely a team for us Valley folks to keep an eye on in the small schools.
The Hidalgo Pirates definitely something to keep an eye out. There hasn't been much attention for the Pirates since Shea Patterson was their quarterback back in the 2014 season. 3rd down and goal. Pirates need a touchdown to score in double coverage, incomplete. Turnover on downs for the Pirates, and Bears get the ball back. Less than 4 minutes. Going to run down the clock as best as they can and get out of this with a win.
Yeah, Shea Patterson, he was a sight to see. That 1 year he did spend in Hidalgo. I believe Coach Ford was his coach. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he did some pretty good things. When he moved out, then he went to he found at the D1 level after he transferred. He went to Ole Miss, and then eventually found himself at the University of Michigan, and then he went undrafted. We actually had him on our show, on our sideline sit-down, the day before the NFL draft. So we got to catch up with Shea and just the things he was up to. He was staying in San Antonio, and unfortunately he did go undrafted, but he was signed by the Chiefs. But again, unfortunately he was released by the Chiefs, so right now he's a free agent. But his name's out there, and we're hoping to see if a team can sign him.
We're hoping so too. It would be amazing to have a quarterback from the Valley coming in playing in the NFL. We haven't had much of an NFL player in the Valley since, I want to say, the early 2000s, the late 90s, if you will. Former Mackay Bulldogs guard had played for the Arizona Cardinals back in the 90s.
Who was that?
Unfortunately, I can't remember the name, but I do remember him playing for the Mackay Bulldogs.
Well, because Robert Garza was from Rio Hondo. He played in the Super Bowl for the Bears. What was it, 2006 when they played the Colts?
Yes, that was
So,
2006.
so Robert Garza had a tremendous career for the Chicago Bears. He went to A&M Kingsville, and then he played he was a starter for the Bears for a long time when Rex Grossman was the quarterback.
Rex Grossman was
back
the quarterback
then.
right there. Yep, and Lovie Smith was the head coach.
And Lovie Smith was the head coach. There you go. So, Robert Garza was one of the last guys in the NFL from the Rio Grande Valley. His jersey and his helmet's up in the Rio Hondo school. They have a nice special case for him.
Yeah, they sure do. And I tell you what, someone that correction, there have been a lot of players in the Rio Grande Valley that have been terrific. Some of them we haven't seen them have success in the NFL. Some have struggled in the college level. I remember Bradley Stevens from McKellar Memorial. He was at A&M, but at the same year that they fired Mike Sherman, and they brought in, if I remember correctly, Kevin Sumlin.
Right.
That's when they switched over to Ben Molina as a starting running back, and Christian Michaels.
Well, the thing was that, you bring that up, and it's funny because Jaworski Lane and Mike Goodson were in front of Bradley Stevens. So it's just kind of the wrong place at the wrong time. The guy was a stud, and he was making some noise. And Irvin Taylor, who is actually from Mission, we all happen to also have him on our show, and we discussed this. He said, if a guy named Jaworski Lane and Mike Goodson was not in front of Bradley Stevens, that boy was making plays, all spring long.
I couldn't agree more. And now Pirates having a chance to score and tie it up. Quick pass deep. It is caught at around the 4-yard line. They have less than 50 seconds. They got to score fast. Let's see if the Pirates are going to be able to tie this up. Coming in fast and a quick pass. Receivers lining up. Quarterback telling his receivers to line up real fast. Quick pass, left side, rolling right, looking for Perales. Can't find him. Quick pass inside is going to be incomplete. There are no flags on the play. And officials, looks like they're going to call the game as the time has expired. And that is correct. The time has expired. The Hidalgo Pirates lose the game 12-6 to PSJA. And PSJA get their second win of the game. Unbelievable play by both squads. A wire-to-wire type of defense. Good game to watch. And now we're not done just yet. We'll have more coverage of 7-on-7 football soon in a bit. From Rio Sports Live, I'm Alex Espinosa.